You got a roll. There you go. Oh, there. Good. You get the third and 9. You got a chance. You got a chance. You can ask for. That's all you can ask for. You're getting kind of close to 4 downs. If you get 6 or 7 right here, you could probably you might think about going for it on 4th down. It's interesting on the screen pass. You really don't want to have great fakes. Like you want to kind of have bad fakes where everybody think, oh, it's play action pass. Running now they'll drop deep, right? If you have great fakes, they're gonna suck up to the runner, right, and get closer to the screen receiver. So that was good by Jared. Kind of took the fakes, right? Get him to retreat, then throw the screen. Might be a fumble. He's still right there. He spun out right into the guy. He's just trying to run on the field. He's off going forward. Thank you. Good thing all the refs on the same page, right? See 3 guys pointing Packers ball the other way. Yeah. Close. AFA does a good job on those.
Thank you.
Those 3rd and longs, that's a incomplete pass. Those 3rd and longs, they do a good job. They kind of that free safety actually comes down and guards the back. If the back doesn't get out, he kind of becomes an extra robber player. Extra robber. The Mike's already playing robber. It looks like they're kind of doubling Hawkinson. They got a safety on him and the Mike linebacker, doubling him in the middle. I mean, he's their threat, right? He's the guy they want to go to. You see so many teams out doing that. Hey, who's their best player? On 3rd and 9, who's the number 1 guy they've gone to on those situations? Hey, it's Hawkinson. All right, let's take him out of the equation. Let's double him. Let's put a safety on the back. If they 2nd down, he's not going to get 9. We might have an extra robber in there to take away kind of an X player on the weak side also. So
on the play, offense.
Oh, wow.
Get him on the ground.
With lots of down, 4th down.
Well, I like that better than the fumble, although it's annoying. Yeah, it just becomes like a sack, basically. You got to see that safety. He was there. He was got the back. Doubling Hawkinson. It looks like he's trying to throw that to the back. His arm gets hit. Couldn't do it. Yeah, what are you supposed to do? It's like every time I got grounding called, there was nobody in the area. I'm like, hey, ref, that receiver is so stupid. He's supposed to be breaking out, right? How do I know he's going to run the wrong route? The ref's like, oh, that makes sense. Pick up the flag. No, it never happened. He's like, sorry, Peyton, intentional grounding. But, I mean, that's the argument, right? I mean, you tell the ref, hey, the guy hit my arm. I'm trying to throw it away. I don't like that call. That's like coaches who's always, hey, you got to throw it away. It's like, sometimes if you have all go and the receivers are all like, where do you throw it away? Like, and then you throw it away. It's intentional grounding. It's like, hey, well, you got to throw it near somebody. I'm trying. I'm trying to do the right thing. Trying to throw it away, getting grounding. So it's better, at least you got a chance. There's a chance they get called incomplete. You're either taking a sack or get grounded. It kind of turns into the same thing. I don't like that. I mean, you're talking about protecting the quarterback. He's trying to throw it away. He's a chance to throw it away. You ought to give him the throw away. So good job by Green Bay finally getting the offense off the field, right? Getting the stop. They had some penalties that help. A 3rd down stop. You get a sack. That's what they did not have last week, so it's good. Get Aaron Rodgers the ball.
If you love that chicken from Popeyes, you'll love our nuggets. They're crispy, juicy, and packed with our signature home-style Louisiana flavor. Try an 8-piece today for $3.99. What the hell happened to my face? Guess who's back again? Why would I go back to a visual medium? I could have done a podcast. Look out!
First wash since I bought it. Still can't believe this thing is yours. No,
Navy Federal Credit Union gave me such an affordable car loan. The rest was easy. Yeah, I can't imagine.
How's it going, Steven? Hey, man, I'm really digging this Eli Manning and Peyton Manning commentary. They're doing the game.
Our members are the mission.
I mean, if I was a young quarterback or like an offensive player, I would totally be listening to how these guys look at the game. It's really great.
Just right would be better than fine, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah.
That's why Toyota Service Center technicians use genuine Toyota parts. They're designed specifically for your Toyota to work just right.
Sounds really good.
Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Toyota. Let's go places.
What if you turned on your kitchen faucet and every faucet in the house came on? That's how your parents' heating and air conditioning works. The next generation is here. With Mitsubishi mini split systems, you can heat or cool each room separately.
Call Carini Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's the smart choice. Cinch.com. Just pick a date and replace any brand of tank.
Howard Cosell.
Yep.
And you're probably going to be shocked.
Good job.
I love Kirk Gowdy when I was a kid.
All right, we're going to welcome our new guest.
Oh, they got Gronk on.
On tonight. Gronk, 4 red zone touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. I have a question for you. Do you even practice on Wednesday, like first, second down stuff? You just skip Wednesday practice, say, hey, I'll be there for Thursday. I'll be there for a few third down, and I'll be there red zone goal line, make sure I get my touchdowns. Is that what you got working for you?
You know, Eli, you're kind of on the right page. I actually do practice Wednesday, and I also practice Thursday, but I don't practice Friday, though. And Friday is red zone day because I don't need practice on red zone day because I'm red zone Robbie G already.
Red zone Robbie G.
You got
ESPN.
red zone touchdowns. Look, Marvin Alley.
I love Cosell. But I love Kirk Gowdy. When I was a kid growing up, man, Kirk Gowdy was the shit. He was so good, man. Old cowboy. What group? Oh, I love Gronk. Gronk's on with Eli and Peyton. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted. Hour 2. There we go. I love Gronk. Gronk's saying something. He's got to be.
Top players on NFL Network, whatever it was, he talked about that play, and I thought he gave you credit then, but I guess not. But yeah, thank you. I have like 90 touchdowns on it, and I hopefully we break the record with that play.
All right. Hey, Gronk, great stuff. You got commercial coming up here, man. Stay with us, okay? You good?
Stay with you. I'm playing cards right now. I don't got that much time.
Probably. Fun to watch. You know what, dude? End of the day, let me tell you something. All kidding aside, all BS and radio BS aside, they've been fun to watch this year. But the argument between Tatis and Machado, come on, man. I mean, it's nothing. Those two dudes are faces of the franchise. It's frustration. You got two dudes that are heated, have great emotion. It's nothing crazy, man. I mean, it happens all the time. It just was in a dugout. I'm not, competitive people argue. And you know who else argues? Control freaks. These two dudes are control freaks. Got to remember that they like everything in control. Their careers, their life, their play. They think they can control a team. I don't know. I still think they're good. They're fun to watch, man. They're a good baseball team. It's a damn shame they're in the West. West is good this year, dude. I mean, what is it? You got to play. Hey, Steven, am I right? You got to play the Dodgers and the Giants like 36 times. It's a lot, man. You got to play against two of the best teams in baseball 36 times.
How many other commercials are I think I have more commercials than you right now, and out on TV. And every day I go and it is impressive, and it's probably because I'm going to break your record, so I have to have more commercials too.
What's up, Trev? I love Gronk, man. He's so freaking great. Gronk is so great on I look like a ghost. Ghost to the post. I know, man. That must have been a fun time. No. Once again, I'm on Dan time, not Chris time. Dan time. There we go. Here's my page. Great. Please just let me know how many minutes I'm out. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just, give me a, 2 minute. Okay, good. 5, 3, 2, like that. We're good. Just. Wow. Nicely. What? It's all good. Good, dude. You? Yeah, see, when you're like the leader of an island like me, we don't really have much of a respite, so we are more, always laser focused. Skull Island, my friend. No. When that's more your guys. When you walk into his house, there's a picture of Clinton in a dress and shoes and high heels. Wow, I still don't. Hey, I think it's a good goof picture, but not in my walkway when people walk into the house. You know what I mean? Like somewhere in the pool room, How about these Lions, man? I am off mic. It's okay. Well, you see it when I'll hook you up as we get there. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, June. You've been doing this a bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, take another chronic call. Yeah, take another chronic call. Listen, these people. I am not. I love this guy. We're only kidding. It's locker room. Well, I know you know that. No, I'm not. So I'm talking to them. Jesus criminy. Yeah. Wow. My nose is bleeding. I'm so upset. Yeah, right. Just punch me right in the nose. And I don't understand what it is. You know what movie I've been watching a lot? I've been watching Midway. The new one. I like the old one too. Yeah, I like the new one. I do like the old one. I watched the old one. Yep. Happy Football Monday to America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network, thank you so much for coming aboard with us. We appreciate it each and every single time that we get to sit behind the mic and talk to you and take your mind off of things. Kind of the happy hour of radio. This is what we've dubbed this, and we so thank you again. Now, if you're also with us on our social media platforms, our Twitch channel, our YouTube channel, we thank you very much, like Steven and Ken and my boy Trevor. Everybody that comes aboard on our social media, you get an opportunity to add to the show. You want to find out a little bit more about that, you can go over to my Twitter page at Dan Sileo Show. So what a great weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I hope everybody's enjoying as we're getting into the fall now. Do you feel it? Football. Football season, NFL, right? And baseball, if you're a baseball fan, kind of creeping towards the playoffs. Teams starting to really get in line now on which teams are going to go down to the final week as we get ready for baseball's postseason. Got hockey in a few weeks. We got NBA in a few weeks. And football right now is coming out of their second week of full action. And then tonight will end the second week officially. Thursday, we start the third week. But, hey, by the way, for the record, Lions and Packers tonight, I love Eli Manning and Peyton Manning calling the game. If I were a young quarterback or I were a young offensive player, I would get a notepad. And I would write down every single thing that they said on how they see the game. How they see the game and the formations. Eli Manning was breaking down 15 different variations off that play and what every guy in that play was supposed to be doing. And then he was talking about what the defensive guys' responsibilities were. That tells you the studying that goes in to understanding the defensive positions. Peyton Manning even said something very interesting that I had never used. When you go from one system to another, when Peyton was talking about when he went from Indianapolis to Denver. He says it's like you have to recondition your mind to forget what you knew in Indy and train your mind to know that it's about today and it's about the new system. You've got to forget all the things that you remembered when you were a Colt, and you've got to try to condition yourself to try to get along with the new terminology when you get into a new building. Hey, man, that's anywhere in the business when you change jobs too, right? You got to forget kind of the things you learned in some other place because they don't usually apply to the new job. Such a brilliant look at it. That's a brilliant look on how you go into a new job, or if you're going on to a new football team or baseball team, the things you learned there will not usually apply to where you are now. It's a great thought process. And like I said, young players, they even got Rob Gronkowski on with them. You should sit around and listen to how these professionals see the game versus broadcasters who see the game. A broadcaster doesn't see the game. Remember something. He calls the game. I don't care how good, Vince Scully, all of them. He doesn't see the game. He calls the game. Guys like Eli and Peyton see the game, and they're talking out loud like they would be talking in a film session. This is what the tight end does on the seam play. Either he's going to have a block and release, or he's going to stay in for protection. And what I'll do is I'll send it back out in the flat there for my fourth option in case I have to go through three progressions, and we're over on the short side of the field, and we have to go short side offense, which is usually weak side offense. And that's the kind of stuff that you're listening to. Now, it may be over some people's head, but as you're listening, you're learning how a quarterback goes into each and every single play during a particular series. It's quite wonderful to listen to. Actually, it's the best thing that ESPN has done in quite some time when it talks about putting, broadcasters in the booth. When you watch a broadcast, I don't know, unless they're really good, I don't really care. But here you're learning. Rob's even talking about getting off the line of scrimmage as a tight end. I think Rob would be great as an analyst. Anyway, so much to hit on. Some telling games. And you know what this week is, right? It's Cowboys and Eagle week. It's Cowboys and Eagle week. Both teams 1-1 going into Big D. That's going to be quite a football game, folks. AT&T is going to be rocking. This is a football game that both teams need. So I'm going to get to that here in a minute. We'll take a look at also week 2 of the NFL. And if you want, we'll throw your perspectives out there if you're on my social media platforms. By the way, Steven wants me to comment on the Fernando Tatis and the Manny Machado blow up in the dugout that they had over the weekend. Two guys arguing. Two competitive guys arguing. I have no issues with it. Okay? These are guys that are going to be on that Padre team for a long time. They're not playing very well right now. They got swept by the Cardinals. There's a baseball team that has $30 million tied up in two guys. You got another $80 million tied up, and and a bunch of other guys on that team. You got $157 million in Eric Hosmer. Okay? I mean, there's a lot of money that's being spent on that team, and you're not really getting the results that you thought you would get. Well, sometimes just slapping a team together doesn't necessarily mean the results you're going to look for just because you have the most talented teams. Then a couple of years ago, we watched the Royals win the World Series. They didn't have a lot of big players on that team. Eric Hosmer was actually on that team. There weren't big players on that team. Good starting pitching, a phenomenal bullpen. They won the series. So those guys arguing in the dugout, I don't think it was a big deal. Media will make more of it, though. Okay? No tension between the two stars. There's no tension. Hey, when you're cashing $30 million paychecks, there's no tension because I get in my Bentley and go to my castle. There's no tension. Tension. Tension's when you can't pay your rent. That's tension. Okay? That's not tension when you got two guys and your team's not playing well. So, talk a tad bit more baseball, but it really was a great college and pro football weekend this last weekend. I want to start it off with a guy that really got the refrigerator off his back last night. And you know who that was? That was Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, was 30-5 versus every other team in the NFL and was 0-3 versus Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs going into that game. They end up winning that football game, and now Lamar Jackson, people are trying to dissect. Is he finally here? Remember, for all you Corona pimps, here's the guy that's failed and had coronavirus twice now. So he's not a vaccinated guy. You don't believe in it. Just so I throw that out there to you. And he finally beat Patrick Mahomes last night. That was awesome. I was so happy for him. Guy gets constantly criticized. He ends up losing that football game. By the way, he had a pick 6 last night and still came back, and he ended up beating Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you this, the Ravens have caught him. Ravens are a good football team. They're a tough team, a tough-minded team. Their quarterback is tough. He's not only tough, but he's brilliant. He's smart. He's great. He's athletic. Do you know that Lamar Jackson has the 3rd most rushing yards in the last 3 years? And he also, by the way, in that process, led the NFL in passing touchdowns. How freaking remarkable was that? And is that? Here's a guy that was asked by Bill Polian and all other GMs, maybe you want to try wide receiver because I'm not sure you're going to make it in the NFL as a quarterback. Tom Telesco, the general manager of the Chargers, wanted him to work out as a wideout. And now he is a force. Look at all these great young players. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. How about the job Sam Darnold did over the weekend for Carolina? By the way, Sam Darnold's now 2-0. The former Jet. He looks like he's turning it around down there. I saw Zach Wilson with the Jets, and I went like this. I don't know. Josh Allen. Look at the job the Bills did on the Dolphins. They knocked the living piss out of Tua, and now they've evened their record. Allen's a great football player. Just really great. So many young superstar players. It's a fun league to watch. It's fun to watch the NFL and all of these players. By the way, you know what the cool thing is about the league? The league has finally done something to make every single opportunity. I don't know if it was racism before or what, but you know, everybody always wanted that statuesque type quarterback. He had to throw from the pocket to win ball games. And most of the guys that were like Tommy Frazier or quarterbacks like that, Vince Young, for instance, really it was tough to make it in the NFL. Now we see quarterbacks like that with pass option everywhere in the league, and there's more of them coming, which is great. And most of them are African Americans. It's great. No longer is the conversation about black quarterbacks. They're the highest paid players at the position now. Doesn't that show you progress? You know, people say that the NFL is racist and Colin Kaepernick tried to make you feel that. I don't see racism in the NFL. Do you? You think there's coaches in that league now that are sitting there going, let's have black players or not black players or minorities over here coaching? Or I think the NFL is progressing perfectly and wonderfully. I do. Now, do we need more coaches? Sure, probably. And most definitely. But I think the league right now is really in great hands with these young quarterbacks. Now, let me get to one old quarterback. By the way, don't think I'm not getting to the Cowboys. We will be getting to the Cowboys. So let me get this right as I say this to you. So Tom Brady is 44 years of age going into this season, right? Brady's 44. He's got 9 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He had 5 versus the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. Brady's got 9 TDs. He's on pace for his greatest season as a player in this league at 44. Think of that for a minute. He's on pace for his greatest statistical year. Oh, and by the way, you want to hear something else? it sure looks like the Buccaneers, when they go up to Gillette, it might be the time that Brady ends up passing Brees for the most touchdown passes in NFL history. He might do it at Gillette. I don't know what else to say about Tom Brady. I really just don't know what to say. He's a superstar. Yes. He is a great leader. Yes. The story is too perfect. It's just too perfect. I mean, it's incredible. How can a guy like that continue to succeed like that at an age like that and continue to put up the type of numbers like that? I mean, that game was 28-25, by the way. You look up, then it's 48-25, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? Crazy. Now the Cowboys. They got a big week versus the Eagles, too. And they get away with a win versus the Chargers. I'll hit on it next. You keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. All right, I'll move it closer. It's too far away. I'll move it closer. There, right there. Test. Uh-huh. Wow, well, just think of that. Wow, man. I mean, you know. No, Sileo doesn't stay in Jersey. I don't do anything in Jersey. The only thing I do is I stop off at the Vince Lombardi rest stop right there on 95 to take a Gigantor. I always stop at the Vince Lombardi rest stop. I don't think so. See, after a good Carl's Jr.'s, you want to stop over at the Lombardi Pissoir and, you know. Oh, they're all over the joint, man. Believe it. On the way up to Jersey to Atlantic City and back. No. They don't have them on the strip. They don't have them there on the highway. It's only Carl Jr.'s. See, dude, folks, here's a guy talking to me that only knows Peoria, Illinois, and he's trying to talk to me about New Jersey. He's the only market he's ever worked in. What? Oh, you know what he said? It's the last market I haven't been fired in. That's classic, man. Hey, can I get a job in Peoria, Illinois that may not know or maybe I should just change my name. See, I could go like this. I could say my name is Vito Anafermo. But no, I think they're looking for a new board op assistant over in Peoria or Chillicothe. Over in Chillicothe, Chris, you might want to apply. It's a reconditioned board, though. Don't worry. I don't think so. Oh, no, Davenport. I hear there's a new PD opening, Chris. You talk a lot about Iowa. Yep. Davenport, the Quad Cities. Who is? I am. I know I am. I know my role, kid. Do you? Yeah, right. I understand this, kid. Wow. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Again, hope all are having a fantastic day. What a great weekend. Great weekend. By the way, you know how awesome it was to see Nebraska, Oklahoma? Give it to the Cornhuskers. Again, I'm not going to give you a medal for the old college try. But, yeah, man, that was great to see that again. It really was. It was great to see that rivalry. That's what college football is about, man. You see all the people that were going crazy because those two teams, and it's not really a September game, though, is it? It's more of a November game. Anyway. So the Cowboys, they go into Los Angeles and they pull out a victory against the Rams. Again, we'll go over week 2 here in a couple minutes. But the Cowboys get it done. Hey, let me say this. This Pollard kid that's not running the ball, what do you have, 13 carries over 100 yards? This kid looks like he's somebody. Get this, you're not paying that guy $10 million a year. You're paying Zeke Elliott $10 million. For what? Wow. Is that guy falling on his wallet? He is so not a person that you want on that football team right now. And I'll tell you why. Because of the money, man. You overpaid for Ezekiel Elliott. There is no way he is a top 5 back. If you're telling me I'm paying him $3 million and he's on my roster, I'm totally good with that. $10 million? The other kid's better. And by the way, Mike McCarthy is so bad a coach when it comes to critical situations. My God almighty, guy, you're blaming the clock? He almost flubbed that whole thing up with that kick at the end of the game because he said he was looking at the wrong clock and Kellen Moore was looking at another clock and they weren't in. You mean you don't have a guy on the sideline keeping time of the game and you're relying on stadium clocks? You should have a guy that's standing there. You know, usually the guy that holds the mic reminds the coach of how many first downs he has and also what the time's left in the game. Because unofficial time is not on the scoreboard. And it's not on the side of the stadium walls. It's held in the hands by the refs. They try to keep the stadium up to time. But official time is on the field. That's why you're always checking with the official. Are we at 12:31 or 12:30? Seconds matter in that game, especially when you're driving for a game-winning field goal. Over 56 yards he kicks that thing? Mike McCarthy just does not look like a very good game day coach. My assessment of the Cowboys, I thought they played better defensively. I thought they were okay defensively. Dak was all right. The Chargers had 11 penalties in that game. Turnovers. You know who the most penalized team in the NFL is? It's the Chargers. The Cowboys go on. Hey, by the way, I don't really care. I'm not throwing shade on Dallas. You went into Los Angeles. You got the win. Now you're going home. And you're hosting a divisional rival in the Eagles. Okay, well, guess what? Here we are, right? Right, it's time to play. Big game coming up here. Hey, folks, this is for all my friends in the Phoenix area here at the Valley Hooters. Thank you so much. By the way, everybody's rolling into these places, and they are absolutely talking about, that they heard it on the Big Sil Show. We really appreciate it. Valley Hooters, located near you. Go into any one of them. Great beer specials, $3 Michelob Ultra drafts they have for you. Again, all the wonderful giveaways they have. food specials. You're just absolutely going to fall in love with this place, man. Go to your Valley Hooters and do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you. Absolutely. By the way, got to say this one more time about Tom Brady. Can this football team repeat as champions? We'll reset and keep it here on the Sileo Show. Friday. Actually, what I'm going to do is I just got an email, as you say this tonight, from Allie. She's been on maternity leave. And she says, love this. Let me get back to work in a couple of days, and we'll get something going here. Say good. Sure. Yeah. So how's everything going, dude? Good. Okay. How's Fred? Oh, jeez. Really? That bad? Okay. I know. I don't want to know anymore. I thought he was the way you ran the board. Well, oh, jeez. Hey, you know what we used to, when a guy got cut, used to go like this. There's this guy's locker over there. And as people were coming in, they go, hey, man, let me take a look at them shoes. Throw them shoes over here. People go, come on, man, that's cold. Jesus, Chris. Jared Goff is playing his ass off, dude. It's 17-14, Detroit. What's that? Not ignoring anything. I listen to hey, listen, everything you say is not really important to me. Just so you know, I want you to get. No. I didn't care about that answer. Good. Oh. Does it mean I get a whistle? No, then I'm out. Shows we got some gift cards we can pay each week with. No, that's all right, man. I'm good. No. Gift cards are not accepted on Skull Island, actually. Tangible cash. We're paid in rubles, yens, and hens. Rubles, yens, and hens. No. Well, we had a problem with the other island, and who with who, and so what we had to do was bomb his ass. And he's not my cousin. It's okay. Then least I don't have short arms. At least I don't have short arms like your friend. Well, I'm not either. I'm just pointing out. Yeah, right. Sure. You should have saw it when I ripped his throat out. I'd really out of the hots for him. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. I've been asked a question here on my YouTube channel here. I'll get to that here in a minute. I want to hit on Brady. Also, the Raiders out to a nice start. And if you do want to get involved in the show, you can go over to any of my social media platforms, the YouTube and the Twitch channel, and you guys can post a comment here. Music Maker just goes, "Hey, Dan, how are you? Do you think Manny Diaz will be fired? The way the U is playing, he may not last until the end of the season." Well, I watched that game, and obviously, as other alumni, I'm not very happy with the direction of the football program right now. I am 1,000% against firing coaches in the midseason, especially in college football, especially during a pandemic when parents are calling schools asking if their kids are okay. You fire a coach like they did at Southern Cal is not cool. You got a lot of families. Hey, just because some of you think that, we're handling COVID-19, that doesn't necessarily mean everybody thinks we're handling COVID-19. And if I'm a head coach, I can't dismiss one for the other. I've got 85 guys on scholarship, probably in another 20 who are walk-ons, that I've got to answer to families and mothers and fathers, and most notably, single-parent people. I'm constantly reassuring these families that we're taking care of these kids. Remember, that's got to be a number one priority for the institutions right now, for you to be able to practice each week, is that you're comforting the families. So when you fire a coach during a pandemic, not for me. If we want to assess something at the end of the year, we'll sit down, we'll have a conversation, and we'll take a look at where the program is going. Music Maker, there's no doubt the program right now is not going anywhere. 66 missed tackles, according to Pro Football Focus, in the first 3 games of the year. Do you know what that is? It's the worst number in the country. The University of Miami is the worst tackling football team in the country. How did that get there? How did that elite program get to where now they can't put a guy on the ground? We've put numerous Hall of Famers in almost every year over the last 10 years. We can't get people on the ground now? And you know what they're doing now at Miami? They're practicing tackling. I don't ever remember practicing tackling when I was a Hurricane, like ever. I knew how to tackle because Jimmy Johnson and Howard Schnellenberger recruited tackling. When you play defense in football, it's not a position. You know what it is? It's a mindset. You got to like to hit people. You got to like to get people on the ground. You got to like to knock people out. Well, I'll just play defense. That's not how that works. Hitting people, you got to enjoy that. To me, it's the type of kid you're recruiting. My wife says this. She thinks it's coaching. Okay? I think it's the kind of kid you get. So maybe it is coaching because the coaches are responsible for the players that are on the roster. I watch Nebraska. I do the same thing. How is Nebraska bad in defense? It's crazy. I see some of these programs. Now, you know what, too? Maybe it's just a little tougher to play defense, but when I watched Florida play against Alabama, that was a heck of a football game. Alabama had their hands full with Florida at the Swamp. They had their hands full. Gators played great football, man. Great football. But Music Maker, I made a rant 12 years ago. What's the difference? It's not exactly 12 years ago. It was in 2012. What's the difference? It looks like the same program. The same program. FSU, man, it's a train wreck too. I think it's the first time since 1976 that FSU is 0-3. Get this. FSU is 0-3, and Miami can't beat anybody except Appalachian State. Man, those two programs, what a damn shame. What an absolute damn shame. Here, let me throw this out and change gears because that makes me sick to my stomach, and I'd rather be washing my car than talking about Hurricane football right now. Okay? I'd rather be washing my car. I watched a football game over the weekend. Rob Gronkowski had 2 TD catches. I'll tell you this, man. That kid's the best tight end I've ever seen. He is the best player. He's the GOAT at that position. Rob is sensational. And because last year he came out of retirement, it looked like he wasn't really Rob Gronkowski. But now that he's gotten into shape and he started the season off in shape, Gronk looks like he did 5 years ago. And for my money, Rob Gronkowski right now is the best tight end in the NFL. It's because the guy over there in the huddle, number 12, TB12, demands that you be at your best all the time. It's called accountability. Brady's greatest asset. How many times do I say this to you about Brady's greatest asset being is that he is a fabulous leader in that locker room. Every single freaking guy that's in that locker room with him, he's got some type of relationship. They were in a pretty good little football game. Okay? Against the Atlanta Falcons. They were in a pretty good football game. Got down to 28-25. Brady stepped on the gas pedal, threw 5 touchdowns. It was over. Perfect. Music Maker says, sorry, Dan, I'll change the topic. Let's talk about Raiders and Dolphins. Hey, man. No, Music Maker. I'm not upset with you. I'm upset with them. I don't get mad at people bringing topics up like that. Okay? I'm not upset with you. Ken says, after the Eagles loss, I'm washing my car. Listen, I'm not upset with you, Music Man. No way. Guys, I'm not upset when anybody brings topics like that up. I'm fed up with it. Absolutely fed up with it. And by the way, what's changed? I keep getting asked this question. Hey, do you think the Kings program could ever get back to doing what you guys did? No. No, because I don't see any signs of it. In the last 17, 18 years, Miami's had 110-win season. What are you talking about here? Get this. I guess what we did was an anomaly for that program. That 19-year run, school doesn't want it. It's what it is. I was talking to my aunt earlier. Do you know what the acceptance rate is for admissions into Alabama? What do you guys think the admissions to get a student into Alabama is? What do you think? It's to get into Alabama. If you want to be a student, and by the way, football players are students too. Okay? I mean, you've got to go to college. You've got to take 12 credits a semester to keep your eligibility going so that you can retain your scholarships. And every college has an admittance percentage that they take. What do you think Alabama's is? What would you think a school like that? By the way, it's a damn fine school. They've got a bunch of great, great departments. Alabama's a heck of a school. A lot of famous people go to that school. But what do you think it takes? Get this. They accept 80% of the people that apply to go to Alabama. 80%. That's one of the highest rates for any school with that kind of population in the country. Do you know what and where I'm going with this is, you know what the admission rate is at Miami? 26%. You know what the admission rate is at Notre Dame? 13%. Do you know what the admission rate is at Stanford? 2%. Why am I going there? Miami wants their cake and eat it. They want to recruit kids who are going to graduate, but those kids are not going to be the group that you recruit. When Nick Saban recruits 30 guys, he gets 30 guys. When Miami recruits 30 guys, they get about 70% of them. When Notre Dame recruits the same people that Nick Saban does, get this, they get about 10% of that group. And when you get Stanford gets one guy out of the 20 to go to Stanford. Miami wants to be Stanford of the South. Why do you think Duke's got a high with hey, it takes a lot to get into Duke. But you only need 5 hoop players or 6 hoop players to have a national championship team. You're talking about a national champion football team at Duke. You're never going to see it. A lot of this stuff has to do with admissions. What kind of kids can go into your program? What kind of kids can't go into your program? It's why LSU, why Alabama, why the Southeastern Conference. Look at every Southeastern Conference school, how easy it is to get kids into their school. Now, they don't accept everybody, but they keep that rate high so they can go after anybody they want recruiting-wise. You see, for them to be able to accept anybody, the admissions rate has to be high. That's the school working with the sports program. Miami sports program doesn't work with the admissions department. The admissions department fights them as much as they possibly can. And then they turn around and bitch why we don't have a superstar program. Well, I mean, I don't really believe you want a superstar program. That's at a lot of places. It's totally. By the way, before I get more into Brady and also a couple of the other storylines, if you're in Jacksonville right now, okay, how are you feeling about the Urban Meyer experiment so far, just after 2 games? And the way that your football team has looked, didn't you personally think that it would have been a little better than this? Urban Meyer came out after the game yesterday and was apologizing to the people of Jacksonville for the poor performance and the poor coaching that's going on with the Jags. You see, Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, those guys aren't used to losing like that. And people in Jacksonville aren't used to seeing Urban Meyer lose like this. Urban Meyer's 0-2 and definitively 0-2. I've never seen anything like it. That team is unprepared, untalented, it seems. And that includes the guy they just drafted from Clemson. Here's something that you have to be careful about if you're Trevor Lawrence. Don't let the inability for those guys to coach you drag you down. Take it from me. I went from a high-profile program to a loser environment, and you felt it immediately. And it drags you down. You cannot let that place, if you're Trevor Lawrence, let that drag you down. Take it from me. I'm telling you. I could not believe the kind of mentality that was in a professional atmosphere when I went from the University of Miami to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could not believe it. Within 5 series, they were quitting. I was like this. I'd never seen anything like this. It was just like they surrendered because they knew they couldn't beat them. I'm like, wow. Man, you never know what happens in a football game. You just never know what happens in a game. And those guys would just quit like that. And Myers got that kind of atmosphere going now. All right, friends, do me a favor. Log on to this website, podcasterwarehouse.com. Headphones, earbuds, anything that you're looking for. Gamers, this is your one-stop place. Please do me a favor. Check out all the great furniture they have, too. You can build your own home studio like Big Sills has here. Use the promo code Sileo, S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. Shipping is free. You can spend as much as $5 to $5,000. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. Hey, John Gruden. Big Sills may have to give him an apology here. Okay? May have to give him an apology. I watched that Raider team versus the Steelers. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'll explain. We'll reset. You keep it right here on the Sileo Show. Wow. I know. I just got a little nauseous here. I don't know. Been feeling like that all day. No, I've been just feeling like that all day. You know, I went to bed last night and I had water on my back. And I had the chills all night. I can't believe the Lions are playing in here, man. They're up 17-14 right now. No, they're doing it tonight. On ESPN. Yeah. They got Brett Favre on. What a throw over his shoulder against the sidelines. That is such a great play, man. What a great throw and catch. Yeah, completely. It's a great football play. Pretty bad. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah, if I could. I thought I could muscle through. No, you donkey. Wow. Nicely. Yeah. I know you're not. I thank you. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. How about John Gruden, man? 2-0 on the season. He opens up beating the Ravens at home, and then he turns around. He goes into Heinz Field, and they end up winning there against the Steelers. Ravens and Steelers, you're 2-0. It's legit. It's actually legit. Okay? I mean, make no mistake about it. That football team has really, it looks like,